Welcome to Everquest poison making video number 19, poison making of the future. And here we're making poisons with the big boys, okay? So we're going to try to make some Vallons and Tallons tactic poisons. Here's Vallons and here's Tallons. We've demonstrated their use. I actually, on raid, when these two poisons interact, we've got them striking for around 109,000 hit points of poison-based damage. And that's when I'm using them in a concert with other rogues that are using the opposite poison than the one that I've used. And that's all passive. That's 60 procs or 1 hour. And that's passive damage. That's not using any endurance. That's not using any mana. That's all just passive poison-based damage. Now, granted, I'm spending money and making poison, so from the aspect of resources, I'm using my money and my time and my mental capabilities. So I am using resources, but I'm not using resources that we would use on raids. So this is a big Quaff of the Craftsman burn. Now, Quaff of the Craftsman is a single-use item that you get from like the Daybreak store. And generally you get it from an anniversary bundle. I think I got this from purchasing an anniversary cart. And I've been holding on to this for quite some time, I believe since Kunark or Classic. And I think it's about time to use it. The way that Quaff of the Craftsman works is it increases your chance to salvage a trade skill component by 100%. So it helps you with a salvage, okay? So in other words, if you fail, you will get all of your components back. This will last 48 combines or 2 hours, whichever comes first. Note, this potion will block the unexpected results for most combines that have alternate results. Okay, so either you succeed or you fail. If you fail, you get everything back. Okay. So, the problem with Quaff of the Craftsman, the way I see it, please correct me if you think I'm wrong, is I succeed too much, and I'm left with this buff on my buff bar without any, with combines that are with no combines to do. So that's kind of, I want to maximize the use of this potion. So I don't want to, since I only get this one time, I think in later expansions they might make another Quaff available. I think it's called Draft of the Craftsman that does the same thing. I think it might last 4 hours, and I think it's more combines, and I think it's very expensive. You got to really, really pay attention to lining up your combines. But again, the problem is that I succeed too much. If I succeed too much, then I'm going to have unused Quaff of the Craftsman, and that'll be kind of a waste of this resource. But another way to think of this is, if this Quaff of the Craftsman is just sitting in my bank unused, and I never use it, then that's a wasted investment as well. So it's a waste if I have ingredients left over in my inventory that I'm not using, and it's also a waste if I have no combines left and this is still sitting on my buff bar just wasting away. So it's that you have to really pay attention to how you use this. So what I've done is I'm going to make Vallons and Tallons tactic poison, which have a 59% chance of success. All right, and right now I have all the ingredients. I have 58 purified privet extracts and 91 purified delphinium extracts. Okay, got more than enough grade A, AA Mamba venom. So I'm limited by these privet extracts. So if all is said and done, let me do the calculation. 58 divided by 2. I'm going to have 29 of each. So I'm pretty much going to be guaranteed 29 of Vallon's Tactics and Tallon's Tactics poisons at the conclusion of this. Now, let's do a little calculation. If I fail on 59%, that's going to be 17 failures. So of this 29, I'm going to fail 17 with 17 of them. So this 48, if this 59% is accurate, this 48 will be reduced by 17. So 48 minus 17. So we'll have 31 more failures to play around with. Okay. So what I've done is I've lined up a lot of these very high-level combines, and I've got all the ingredients for them, and I've got the inventory space to put them in. So it's another thing to keep in mind. You want to make sure that you have, before you drink this Quaff of the Craftsman, you want to make sure that you have all of the materials ready to go. You want to make sure that you have adequate inventory space to put it in. So I'm dealing with 31 more failures. All right, so if you take this 91, a purified grade A delphinium extract, subtract 58, I'll have 33 delphinium extracts left. So and delphinium extracts makes Monk's Bane. All right, there's that. And there's a 60% chance. All right, so I'll have 33 of those. Let's say I take 20 of those and I make Monk's Bane. So 20 times 0.6. I'm going to fail on 12 of those. So assume these 20 that I'll just kind of set aside for Monk's Bane up here, right? So let's just assume I fail on 12 of those. Then we have this mucosamol, this laburnum, calodinium, and oleander. So the idea is that I won't fail on any of these combines. So I've lined up a lot of these combines. If we just type the word Bane, okay, and we sort by trivial. Monk's Bane has a 60% chance. Warlord's Bane has a 62% chance. Fighter's Bane is 63. So all of these are quite high. So I've lined up these. Also Myrmidon Sloth and Quellius Trauma. I think Myrmidon Sloth is pretty highly valued, and Quellius. Alright, Quellius Trauma. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to line these up. We're going to say, after the Vallons and Tallons tactic attempts, we're going to line up Monk's Bane first, then we're going to line up Quellius Trauma next, then we're going to line up Myrmidon Sloth next, so we'll do those, then we'll do Larkspur. We're going to save Larkspur for last. And then the Calodinium, I think Calodinium is Fighter's Bane. Fighter's Bane is Calodinium, and Warlords is, okay, let's do Warlords next. Then we'll do Fighters, then we'll do Messengers. So that's going to be the order. Okay, so the order is going to be Talon's Tactic. We're going to drink the Quaff. Okay, then we're going to make Talon's Tactic and Vallon's Tactic. Once we're done exhausting all of this privet extract, this purified privet extract, and we've made all of our Vallons and Tallons tactic, then we're going to make Monk's Bane, we're going to make Quellius Trauma, then we're going to make Myrmidon Sloth, then we're going to make Warlord's Bane, Fighter's Bane, Messenger's Bane, and that should pretty well consume the Quaff of the Craftsman. All right. Okay, let's give this a try. Goodbye to you, goodbye to you, goodbye to you, goodbye. All right. I'll be right back.
Here you can see I've speeded up dramatically the rate of the combines, and so if you want to hear me talking like a chipmunk, I can. I can raise the volume here, but I just felt that speeding up the rate of the video would, cut down the size, and nobody really wants to see a bunch of combines. At the end of the day, I was able to get 30 of each Vallons and Tallons tactic poisons. The failure rate was significantly high. I did use all of the Quaff of the Craftsman, and ultimately I got one more. So my predictions were that I would get 29 of each Vallons and Tallons tactic poisons, and I was able to get 30 of each. So that was good, and so I didn't have to consume any. I didn't have the buff on my buff bar, and so I didn't have to consume any of my combines that I had lined up. So there you have it. Here's a picture of why I used Quaff of the Craftsman, and this is a picture of a Talon's tactic poison strike coming right after a Vallon's tactic poison strike from a previous guild rogue. And the Vallons struck for 17,000 hit points of damage, and then Tallons hit for 90,000 hit points of damage. And then another guild rogue hit for 109 hit points of damage from subsequent Vallons. So it was Vallons, then Tallons, then Vallons again for 17, then 90, then 109. So this demonstrates the amplification of this poison and the potential for DPS in the next 8 to 10 weeks, where we're going to be playing, end game Seeds of Destruction content. I really wanted to have enough of these poisons on hand to supply my raid force rogues. Just given the sort of cascading, amplifying nature of these poisons, I think that justified me using Quaff of the Craftsman. For someone that says, well, you might have used them too soon. I mean, I think about I've literally had this Quaff since Kunark, and I think this is, in my judgment, the best time to use it. For someone that might ask, well, you should have waited till later to use Quaff, maybe for a more high-valued combine or a more high-valued series of combines. I just kind of question when that time will be. I don't think I'll get a lot of direct answers, especially from individuals that are playing on a TLP that really don't know the content that is about to unlock with future expansions. So it's an open question. That's kind of why I open it up to my viewers, especially those that play on a live server. Do you think this was a good use of Quaff, or do you think I should have waited? I know that the immaculate ingredients, these only drop in raid, and I only have like maybe 1 or 2 of each of those immaculate ingredients. Those are level 90 poisons, and given the infrequency that they drop, how few I have of them, and the fact that I can't even make the level 90 poisons, I'm not sure if maybe I should have waited, but in any case, I know that I have a stack of 30 of each together with another one of my guild rogues who also makes Vallons and Tallons tactic poisons. I think this is a very good use of my resources. It's going to help our guild rogues, and at the end of the day, it's a silly game, and I just didn't want this Quaff rotting in my bank, so I wanted to actually put it to use. So I think one of my areas for disappointment for this was that I got more failures than I thought I would. I thought I would have more successes, but be that as it may, I think I still think we have more than enough to supply our raid force for the remainder of this expansion. So anyways, that's all I have to say on that, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thanks. Bye.